Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning here in the Manyeleti. Welcome back to the Manyeleti. Myself and Alistair are back. We're very excited to be out. It feels like we've been away for more than a week, but we're very excited to see what's happening in the reserve, how all the cubs doing, how all the pups doing, how the Shanzele male leopards doing. So we're all very excited to get out there and see what we can find. I've just watched the sunrise here. I'm going to stay up in the north this morning. I'm sure you could hear those lions roaring in the background, so I'm going to head that way, see if I can find those lions, probably the Auckland male. Alistair's going to be doing something different this morning. He's going to be on a bushwalk with wires, so they're going to be focusing on the smaller things of the bush, like tracks, maybe some plants, and just any other smaller signs of the bush, and who knows, they might bump into something big along the way, which is always exciting. So it's great to have you back, it's great to be back here, and let's see what we can get this morning. So I'm very close to that area where I heard that male lion roaring. It's just sitting here with a nice big herd of wildebeest. They're all looking quite alarmed. You can see they're looking around, just keeping a watchful eye. They obviously know that lion's very close, but they are in a nice big open space here, so their visibility will be very good. They obviously know he's here because he's roaring, so there's no real element of surprise, but they'll still keep a watch. So I was just hoping to see if I could get them alarming at him, or even better, hearing him roar again. I'm just going to sit with this herd for another couple minutes and then continue my search for that lion. So I've just come across some vultures. There's quite a few vultures here. There's about 3 or 4 trees that have got some vultures within them, so hopefully the lions are maybe on a kill here, or they've actually just finished their kill during the night and these vultures are just waiting to maybe go down and have a feed. So I'm just going to move in here, check the area, and hopefully we get lucky with something quite exciting here. So I managed to find what these vultures have been waiting for and feeding on. Some of the vultures are on the ground feeding on the leftovers here. It's an impala ram. You can just see a bit of the skull and the horns here. It's amazing that so many vultures have been attracted by what's quite a small carcass. We've got lappet-faced vultures here, hooded, whiteback. I'm pretty sure this was killed by the koppies pride during the night. It's often what's left over of a lion kill, just some of the skulls. The hyenas and jackals would have carried off most of the bones. Even seen hyenas and jackals trying to open the skull to get to the brain, but that's often what's just left, the horns and a bit of the skull. As we showed you in the earlier episode, the horn-boring moths will lay their eggs on these horns throughout the bush, and they start to feed on that keratin, the outer layer of the horn, and the cycle of life continues, so nothing will go to waste here. I'm still going to carry on my search for these lions. I haven't been able to find them, but it's a good clue that they're not too far away. Just come back to the road and you can see lion tracks here, so it definitely was the lions that killed this impala. Looks like two females from the koppies pride probably. Busy moving back up the road here again, so let's see if we can get them.
Good morning to everybody. As you've know, Neil's out on virtual safari. We're trying something different this week. We're doing a virtual walk. A lot of the viewers have requested a walk, so I've brought my dear friend Wise along. We all have seen him on the Facebook videos, but him and I are going to be out this morning, just focusing around the lodge, see what small stuff we can pick up, what tracks, but yeah, just something different and do a virtual walk. Wise on his morning walk, morning virtual walking safari. Picking up some tracks of some elephants, some fresh dung of some elephant. It's beautiful this morning. It's a little bit chilly, but it's actually great to be on foot. Very glad I'm not in a car because it would be quite cold. I'm sure Neil's pretty cold out there.
So you see, it's elephant dung. It's fresh, but not much fresh because it's for last night. The reason why I said it's not fresh, it's wet here where you urinate, but in there where you're dropping the dung, it's supposed to be wet, but it's dry. So it's for last night. Even if I try to feel it, it's not warm at all. It's very, very cold. So that's why. Now this one, it's a young male. The reason why I say it's a young male, the tracks is pointing that side. So if the male urinate, just dropping a dung and pee this side. So if it's a female, the dung, it will be very close somewhere here. Yeah, like this. When they're dropping and urinating, just dropping and urinating. So there's a little bit gap here. That's why I said it's a male. And also the tracks is going that side. That's why I estimate to stand like this, to urinating and dropping.
Managed to find some honey badger tracks, pretty fresh from last night on a road. You know, using the road, as we've always said, it's much easier to use the road than it is to use the bush. Wise is just going to explain now which track it is.
So this was the front one on the right side. As you see, there's one here, the other one is around this side. So to check this one's a front or back one, just look at the pad. So you can manage to identify, and there's sometimes you can say it's a porcupine, but it's different because the porcupine, they have divide, it's like this, and just divided on the middle. So if you count, there's some branches, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 of them. But here to the honey badgers, just only 2, just divided here, 1, 2, the bigger one and smaller one.
So Wise is saying the honey badger track is very, very similar to the porcupine track, but it's explained pretty nicely the difference between the porcupine and honey badger. So I don't think there's much chance of us finding it on a walk, but at least we know they're around. Wise has managed to pick up some leopard scat. He's managed to find some male leopard scat in front of me here and some female behind me. So he's going to explain how he knows the difference between male and leopard female scat.
Okay, the size of the dung is big, and sometimes you can get confused. You said it's a hyena because it looks a little bit white here, but to the hyena it's pure white because it's eating a lot of bones. So this one, the reason why I said it's a male, the size is big, and also there was a old track that coming this side. So that is good indication to this is the male leopard scat.
Just a little bit further is the female leopard scat. Wise, you want to just tell us how you know this is female leopard scat?
Yeah, see, this one is very small, and as you see, this one is a little bit black. Maybe he eats something, maybe he eat fresh meat. That's why it's more black like this. So this is the female, and also there's a tracks. The good things is to identify. So when you see the tracks and you follow, it's very good to see this is the female or it's a male. Like here, this is the female because there was a track of male and a female. Maybe they're mating, never know. And also it's dry, and that one is dry. And maybe they walk together on the same day. That's why the dung is the same.
Okay, so the main difference was the male had the big scat and the female much smaller. I managed to pick up some very fresh dung of a male buffalo. We're going to follow up and see. Wise has got his tracks. We're just going to follow up. There's a dam not too far from here in Ngumanzi. Might be there, but let's see if we can pick him up. Wise has just picked up more tracks of his buffalo, hoping they're at the pan. See the dung on the ground. Been walking for about 2 hours. We're now at Wild Dog Dam. There's a hippo in the clump of bushes over there. Some terrapins on the side of the dam. Some herons and spoonbills. When you're this side of the dam, you get a real sight as to how much water there still is. It's going to be good going into the worst of the dry season. Can you hear the heron calling?
After quite a quiet morning up in the north, I wasn't able to find any sign or any further sign of those lions. I decided to come to Midday and see if anything was here. There's a lot of general game starting to come down, so I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes. We got a hippo and a calf out the water, a lot of waterbuck, got a lot of impala and zebra coming down. So I'm just going to sit here a little bit, maybe we get some elephants, maybe that sable comes again, and if we're lucky maybe a predator arrives due to all this general game. But yeah, this wind is very cold and very strong, and it's not pleasant at all at the moment, especially for the animals. So hopefully the wind will die down and it'll warm up a little bit. It's almost 10 a.m. still incredibly windy. It's been windy the whole weekend here in the Lowveld. It's just one male elephant here by himself. He's busy feeding on a tree known as a sickle bush, and there's also a tree next to it called a false thorn. Also grazing, eating grass, so a very mixed diet here as he feeds. And that's the benefit as the seasons change, these mixed feeders, so elephants are a mixed feeder and impala is another one. They can easily just switch from grass that is busy dying off to leaves and trees. Obviously elephants will start derooting the trees quite a lot. A lot of these trees drop their leaves in the winter, send all the nutrients to the roots, and the elephants then push these trees over. They uproot the tree and they feed on the roots due to all the nutrients. So very clever and adaptable in that way. Once again, not very big tusks, but I'd say he's probably in his late 30s, this elephant. Very big body size. Well everyone, that brings us to the end of this morning's drive. It's still very windy and quite chilly actually. It's definitely played a big part in the animals that we've seen this morning. A little bit quiet this morning to start us off, although we did actually manage to find quite a lot of general game and managed to see that nice elephant at the end. Wasn't able to find those lions that we initially heard this morning. They probably were roaring and moving at the same time and moving further into a block, but I'm sure we'll get them in the next couple of days. Alistair went on his walk this morning, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Something different to focus on the smaller aspects of the bush. We'll probably do a couple of those through the weeks as we go forward. But yeah, just nice to be back out on drive in the Manyeleti and viewing some of these animals. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again on Wednesday.